in your headset of, oh, what do I need to fix? What do I need to fix? We're working from the old headset of wanting to be in control. But the problem with that is that you need to keep it broken so you've got something to fix. It's like, okay. And so then the real salient question in that situation is to say, what do I need to let go of? And if, oh, you feel that expansion, oh, we got goosebumps of recognition now. So if you get into the habit of moving out of what do I need to fix, what do I need to let go of, then you become more fluid. And divine light can flow more fully and freely. It is easier to be and relax into your more natural self than it is to hang on to the other construct. Yeah. Yeah, so just relaxing into that. And now when you do that, you also want the recalibration. So you go back to the first step of the basic activation, where divine light's flowing from infinity through your divine soul knowing up through your divine heart, human heart, and filling up all of your bodies. And so even on that fourth step, you've sent it back. You've got gratitude going between you and the earth. And you've just, in that gratitude, it's like, far reach is coming back in, but now you feel there's different parts of you that need to calibrate. Well, that's okay. Divine light is already flowing through you. So you just relax even more and say, yeah, I'm going to let myself calibrate. And so it could be the mental body if you're feeling it up here, the vocal body if you're feeling it here, your heart, your human emotional sphere if you're feeling it here, or just relaxing deeper into the earth. And you'll know because you'll feel the resistance of, as you're expanding, it will feel a little tight. And that's just you're not resisting. If you're actually resisting, you'll feel it clench, but you'll feel the natural alchemical resistance as the new is pushing out through the old. And so that's why it's like, oh, I'm feeling a little tense here. I don't need to fix that. It's not a headache. I don't need to fix it. I need to just let go and go, yeah, okay, I'm going to let myself organically calibrate to these new awareness. And the cosmic consciousness of your divine soul is directing the light's doing the work. And one of the principles in my book is giving and receiving is a two-way street. And I talk about how when you really receive something, that is giving. If you only receive in life and you never give back, then you're taking. And it's a real fine line between the two. And I remember this is way, way, way back in the day when I was learning this whole concept and where I came to understand that the giving and receiving is a two-way street, because I had never really read that anywhere. But I got it organically. My divine soul gave it to me organically, even before I knew I had a divine soul. And somebody gave me a compliment. And I went, oh, yeah, oh, thank you. This old thing, I think it was a dress, this old thing, And because socially I'd been taught that that was a humble thing to do. And I didn't think anything about it until I said something. I gave another woman a compliment on something that she was wearing. And I really meant it. It really brought me pleasure. So it wasn't even me trying to connect. It brought me pleasure to see this whole outfit on this figure and form, and just, it was just beautiful to me. And so I told her, you just look so amazing right now. And she went, oh, and I felt this, and it was violent because I was so open when I said that. Now, this is real subtle stuff, but that's when I realized, and I went, holy cow. She blocked something I was really wanting to share of myself. And it got cold cocked right then and there. And that's when I started paying attention. So if somebody gave me a compliment, I tried to really just stop and go, thank you. And that's when I felt this two-way flow going between us. And I was like, holy cow, I need to really concentrate on receiving what the world is giving me, and receiving, then it, I took that to the level of just receiving the beauty that I saw instead of just sitting back and admiring it from afar. It became this process of learning to really organically receive the beauty with gratitude of the earth. And then I could honestly say, thank you. And then it became this like two-way flow that it was just amazing. I have goosebumps remembering the early days. And even now doing it, I write out in this line of vision, the door is open and I've got my garden and there's some flowers that just popped out. So I was even saying thank you and receiving that beauty, and you could feel it. It's this two-way flow between you and all of the world, the universe, the world that we live in. So it's this giving and receiving is a two-way street. So when you're doing that basic activation, and especially if it's a healing for yourself, then you remember that you're receiving this cosmic divine love. On a human level, you're receiving it from your divine soul knowing. You appreciate how your divine soul is directing it, because you are the divine soul having a human experience, period. But you're viewing yourself from that human lens, especially in the early stages of your reawakening. And then when you send your love and light to the earth, it's just tremendous appreciation for the air you breathe, the water you drink, the plant kingdom, the animal kingdom, but just even the sentience of Mother Earth. And thank you. I appreciate you. And you feel the appreciation in return that you're waking up and you're understanding that symbiotic relationship on deeper levels. You got a two-way flow. You got a two-way flow. And then as you become more aware of that, you're more aware of receiving. And the more you're aware that the receiving is the giving. And then if you can do that the same with the heavens, then the more and the deeper you go into remembering the cosmic consciousness of your divine soul knowing. And you remember who you were, who you are, where you came from before you were born, and recognize where you're going after you leave this biological body, then you have a deeper appreciation of this entire arc of ascension growth that happens through experience. The hard part is letting go and letting the light do the work. But the more adept you become at that, then the more you return to your natural self. When I first moved to Italy, it was, whoa, everything had changed. Because I moved over for a guy, and my romantic status changed. My geographical status changed. My career status changed. I mean, I gave up really a thriving career as a working professional actress, which was my dream job for this. And I knew it was a crossroads, but I made the choice. And the song popped in my head, the things we do for love. Like giving up everything you wanted. Anyway. My church status changed because I've had a really strong spiritual community, that I went to church every Sunday. And so that changed. My language changed. My economic status changed. I had to learn the language. I mean, I didn't have anything to hang on to that I knew from before. And one of the most important moments at that period of my life happened in a Catholic church. And I remember looking at the cross, and Jesus is on the cross. And I grew up in the Protestant church where they very proudly proclaim that no, we took Jesus off the cross, so we're better than that. I mean, that's locked in that duality thinking, you know. And but there Jesus is on the cross, and I went into meditation, and I was taken back in meditation. It was very, very clear to witness the moment of that crucifixion. And it was one of those moments where I could smell the sweat of the people around me and getting jostled, and the sand in my eyes. And I mean, it was just really a lucid moment of meditation. And feeling the compassion and understanding of the human condition in the words, "Forgive them, they know not what they do." And in that moment, I realized that I'd been trying to push the entire universe, trying to hang on to something that was part of my self-identity. And it was also, "Forgive me. I know not what I have been doing." And that was my human ego intellect that totally let go. And I felt this incredible two-way flow between me and the moment of the universe. And when I came back into my body, or came back into the awareness of sitting in the church, and I don't know how long I had been in that state, and I looked at the cross again, and I just said, "Thank you," with tremendous appreciation. And I said, "I hang all of my earthly ideas on the cross. Let them be crucified, totally. And I am going to wait 3 days and let the resurrection within me happen." And it didn't take the full 3 days. And suddenly I'm understanding the language of the people that, you know, they're speaking Italian, dialect even. And I'm understanding more. I'm relaxed into it, and I'm intuiting more. I'm seeing the energy flow. I'm getting the telepathy more. It's just, it was a whole different dimension. And it was just all about letting go of the construct that I had been hanging on to. It was also scary because it was one of those moments where you have a blank piece of paper that you can write anything that you want on it. Anything. And you have that every day of your life. But, you know, I had kicked myself into a situation where I had no choice. There was nothing to hang on to. So that was a really big blank piece of paper. And I knew that whatever I wrote on that piece of paper was going to happen. And so I said, wait until you really want to write it down. Just live this transition. Just relax into this. Discover you in this new situation, this new environment. And then when you're ready, you'll write it down on a piece of paper. And I did, and everything I've written down on that piece of paper has happened. But I learned to wait, because that's part of the receiving. If you say you want something and you're not really ready to receive it, you got that no, then you'll block it. You truncate it. And, you know, divine light only thinks in the positive. We've talked about that other times. And so it only knows how to manifest. And it will manifest through all your thoughts, conscious and subconscious. So if you say, I want this, but no, I'm not worthy, well, then it's going to be a messy manifestation or a messy expression of you. And so you learn to discern, am I ready for this? And if you don't feel it 100%, then say, I'd like to become ready. And that way you're working from where you really are and not from where you'd like to imagine yourself to be or pretend that you are. You're working from where you really are. And if you do that gently and you get into the habit of that, then it becomes so much easier and more gentle to make that transition from where the ego intellect is driving the bus to where your divine soul is driving the bus and your human aspect is the instrument. The human ego intellect is the instrument of you, the cosmic you, having the human experience. There's one more element to it, because you definitely don't want to put yourself in the situation where you're sitting in the corner going, what are you doing? Well, I'm just becoming ready. And, you spend 6 lifetimes. What are you doing? I'm becoming ready. Let's kind of put yourself in a position to where you can gently drop kick yourself into a little bit of a scramble to help your getting ready process, and so that's where you organically are recreating situations that you get to really see what you're doing, and you really get to make that choice point. And we've talked about choice points before. So you get to really make that choice point, but you make part of that choice point that even becoming more ready.
Thank you so much for listening, and thank you so much for being interested in learning on how to live your light more fully and freely with emotional freedoms that you haven't even yet begun to dream of, and that gives you the courage and clarity to live your divine soul purpose. Now, just so that I play well with the algorithms here on YouTube, be sure to like the video. Please leave me a comment, because I do love more two-way conversations, and subscribe if you want to stay in touch with any of the new material that I'm putting out there.